Okay, so installing a strap button onto the bottom of your ukulele, really easy. It's just one small hole and one screw. But there's some things you got to keep in mind first. So the first thing you want to do is check to see if your ukulele has a small wooden block inside here in the base. Now I tried doing like camera views in here to look at it. I wasn't able to do it on film, the video. So I hopefully will be putting a picture that I took in here somewhere. But it's going to be a little 1-inch block right here on the inside of your ukulele. If you have that, you can install the strap button. If you don't, then you don't want to do it because then there's nothing to support the screw. Most ukuleles that are made out of wood have a strap button. Many ukuleles that are made out of plastic don't. So before you even begin, you want to look inside your ukulele down in here to make sure that you've got the little block of wood in there. Strap buttons usually come with 3 parts. There is the button itself, a screw to hold it to your ukulele, and a little washer, usually felt or rubber, to help protect the wood. When drilling the hole, you're going to need to know the drill bit size, and there's a pretty easy way to tell. What you're going to do is you're going to take your drill bits, and let's see if I can get this to focus. You hold it up to the threads on the screw, and what you're looking for is just a little bit of thread on either side of the shaft of the drill bit. So you're trying to have a bit that is big enough to be about the same size as the center of the screw, but not bigger than the threads. Here's a quick little illustration. So you want the screw, the hole, to be about the size of the core of the screw, but the threads to be bigger than the hole. So that'll give the thread something to bite onto. In this case, in my case, I've determined that an 1/8 inch drill bit is the correct size for this particular screw. Screws come in different sizes. You're going to want to check yours. Now for depth, go ahead and assemble the pieces as if you're going to go ahead and put it on the ukulele. Come on, get on there. Okay, so this is how they would go onto your ukulele. And then what you do is you take your drill bit and you hold it up against the screw. And then you apply a little tiny bit of tape. Now you'll notice there's a little tiny bit of gap between the tip of the screw and the tape. You want the hole to be just a tiny bit longer than the screw. So back to the illustration. The hole should be just a little bit longer. So that'll give room for the felt to compress. So just go ahead and put that little bit of tape right there. And that tape will be your guide. So as you're drilling the hole down, you'll notice when the tape starts brushing up against your wood. Now when I drill my holes, I don't start off with the full size. I find a half step. So this half step I think is, my notes say 5/64. So I go with a smaller one just to start the hole, and then I go to the full size one. For placement, you're going to want to put the button in the center of the bottom of your ukulele. Now the center, this direction, is pretty easy to find. Your ukulele should have a little seam where the ends of the sides meet. And I'm not sure if this is going to show up on the camera. There should be a little seam right there that you're looking for. Now I'm going to go and put a piece of tape roughly where the center is. And I'm just going to mark on the tape where that line is. Now the next trick is to figure out where the center in this direction is. The trick for that is Post-it note. So I'm going to go and put the Post-it on the end of the ukulele. So one edge is up on one side. Now this Post-it's a little bit wider than the ukulele, so I'm just going to go ahead and fold that over. And that gives me the thickness of the ukulele. And then all I have to do is take the Post-it and fold it in half. And that tells me exactly where the center is in this direction. And I will mark it there. And now I have a little mark where the center is on the bottom of my ukulele. Now that I've got the location for my hole marked, it's time to drill. Starting with the smaller drill bit. I'll try and do this on camera. Just going to go ahead and put it at the mark and start drilling. Now you don't want to be at weird angles. You want to be as close to perpendicular as you can be. All right, here we go. And like I said, you'll know when to stop when that little flap and there we go. Time to stop. Yeah. Here we go. Alright, give me a moment while I change bits to the one that's the final size. This is the 1/8 inch drill bit. This is going to be the final hole size for me. Like I said, yours might be different, but this is the final for me. Let's go ahead and drill that in. Alright, and we're at the tape. Back that out. And we have drilled our hole. Simple as that. Now let's go ahead and screw in our button. Let's peel this tape off. This is the button. I'm going to go ahead and get that started by hand a little bit just to get it going. And I'm going to come in with a screwdriver. I don't do this with a power tool. I do this by hand because feel is important. You don't want to crank it in too tight. So I'm just going to come in and just start turning. Whoop. Make sure this stays on camera. Okay. You don't want it so loose that it's spinning, but you don't want to crank it too tight either. So I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. Feel how it is. Still turning. A little more. It's getting snug. That feels about right. We'll just go a hair more. Yep. Perfect. And that's all there is to installing a strap button to the bottom of your ukulele. When installing a strap button to the neck of your ukulele, you want to do it on the side that is closer to the floor. So this is your A string, G, C, E, A. Floor is on this side. This is the side you want to install the button. Now it's helpful if you have the strap in hand, because that will help you pick where in this area. This is called the heel. This is your neck. This is your heel. You want it kind of in the meat of the heel. But where specifically? There's no actual hard and fast rule for that. So I'm going to put a little piece of blue tape down just so I have something to write on. And I'm going to take the strap end that I have, and I'm going to sort of hold it into the space. I don't want the button so high that my strap end is going above my neck. I don't want it all the way down here, so it's all low. I want it sort of comfortably right about there. So nice in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and mark that, so I know where to drill my hole. Yep, simple as that. So as before, I'm going to start off with my smaller drill bit. Let me swing this around. Now, it's a little more complicated to figure out where to position your drill, but you want to be about perpendicular to the spot that you're drilling into. So right about there. And as before, the little flap will tell me when to stop drilling. I'm going to pause for a moment while I change drill bits. Okay, I've got my larger 1/8 inch drill bit. Let's go ahead and make that hole a little bigger. Okay, and that's it. Simple as that. And let's peel the tape off. A nice clean hole. Got my assembled strap button. Let's get that started. And screw it in. A little bit more. And that's it. And that's how you install a neck strap button. That's all.